Okay, there we go. I can record it. Yeah, so you want to have the charts that you can look at in order to effectively move in and out of trades. Otherwise, you're just making a market order. So the dangerous part about a market order is that they could the price that you see when you hit buy may or may not be what actually happens and what executes. You may have already seen that before, where it shows say 209, you hit buy, and then you get your confirmation and it was like 212. You're like, what the hell is that? Um, that's what happens with a market order. Most trades are made with market orders because most people just don't know. But what you want to use these types of platforms for, and market orders are fine if you're going to do, just buy and hold, type of things. But if you're going to get in and out, within a couple days or even a couple, even a week or two, you want to use limit orders so that you can have more control. And so what we're looking at here is the MATIC, essentially the book, the order book for MATIC. And this is a sell wall. This is our seller side, this is our buyer side. And this is basically showing us what our buyers and sellers are bidding. And you can see there's no movement here, right? And that's on purpose by this guy. This is what they would call a whale, who has put a wall up at 79,000 coins for in order to the market to move. This order has to be filled. So what he's doing is he's putting pressure on anybody who wants to sell above 210 to lower their price. So he's trying to push the price down. So you can see here's the price. The price gets higher and lower, and so your buyers are obviously wanting to pay less. Your sellers are wanting to sell for more, and you have this tug of war, and they try to move. And so this gap here is, the difference between where the buyer is, who says I will buy at. Wait, here's our bids over here. Those are actual trades. Hold on. Okay, here's our open orders. So these are actual orders. Yeah. So this guy says I'll pay. Yeah, it's a big gap. 201 is what he's willing to pay for the coin, and he says I'll sell for 210. And everybody else is here behind him saying, yeah, we're going to sell for more than that as well. And then my next point was he's going to drop the wall if it's a fictitious wall, which it very well could be, and obviously it was. So he removed that order and that wall fell down. And so what he's doing is he's likely the same guy that's now put up this buy wall. And you'll either see one or two people or groups of people get in and do this to keep the price where they want it. So they're accumulating shares. And so what'll happen is let's say he puts pressure like he was at 210 to sell, and he wants all these guys behind him to sell. Now, some of these people may actually need to get out of this for whatever reason. Maybe they're like, I bought in at 190 yesterday. If I can get 215 or 220, I'm in good shape. Then he throws up this wall at 210, and all of a sudden I'm like, shit, if I wait, if this order actually gets fulfilled, number one, I can't get anything until that order is fulfilled. I can't sell, I'm locked. And then if I do sell, or if he does get that order filled, then the price is going to plummet because he just dumped 35,000 tokens into the market. And, so he'll put pressure and get somebody to say, all right, fine, I'll sell it for 209 so I can at least get out of this thing and not risk him dumping those. The thing is, you don't know whether or not it's a real order or not. You don't know if he's really trying to sell all that or if he's just putting it up to put pressure on people to sell at a lower price so that somebody on the other side can pick them up. And then typically what you'll see is these things will fluctuate back and forth, and they'll really try to keep this price at a certain point. And this is the same thing that happened on Monday when the price exploded, was he was keeping it between 160 and 175 with a wall at 185. And then once he had the shares that he was ready to accumulate, then he lets down the wall. Then everybody who was trying to get out can now finally get out. They'll start selling. and then he, the price will immediately jump. And so I have another video that I shot a day or two ago, where this deal has happened. There's a stalemate, and I just sold like 20 coins, just for the demonstration to show there was a gap just like this. And so if I came in here and this sell is at 210, and I wanted to move, close this gap, the buy's at 2.01, I could offer to sell at 0.205, and chances are pretty good that this guy will buy at 0.205, which will then move the market, and it'll get people to start buying. And then once he makes that buy at 205, that then gives everybody behind him confidence that, oh shit, okay, well, I was waiting for it to go down, but obviously it's not going down, so I better start buying. And so you can kind of push, and what you'll see is these people will they'll manipulate these order books to happen that way. And so that's the danger of a market order, because you could you've got this wall here at 240. So all of a sudden, all it takes is somebody to close this gap, 205, and then enough people panic buy these little small orders, panic buy, and then you see, maybe this guy says, okay, well, shit, it's not going to be 195 for a while, and I don't want to risk it going up. This guy drops this wall, then all of a sudden, next thing you know, it goes from 210 to 235, and then these guys are all out. So then you start to see people rush. And so that's kind of what they're doing here. So that's what's going to happen on this deal. You don't know when, but you got to watch it and see. So you go ahead and set a limit order here and say, hey, I want to get in this thing at 205 or 204. Anything under 210, you'll probably get it. You'll probably get the buy. The market's going to move. It may not move a bunch, but at some point when all of this stops and the market starts freely flowing, then it's going to go up. You're going to see there's a lot more sell orders that need to be fulfilled. That guy dropped that order, but there's a lot more sell side control over here. This just went up, and I think this is that guy over there. But just before this was, right here, there was not a whole lot of buyers holding out. If you see a bunch of buyer demand up here, then that's showing confidence that the price is going to drop, right? And so you're going to see more and more buyers over here if the market, is showing confidence that they think the price will drop. You'll see more activity over here if the marketplace is more certain that it's going to go up. So you could also spot when it's being manipulated when there's such small movement. I'll show you one. So we'll go to like 88, and I'll show you what an actual order book will look like when somebody's not manipulating it. You see the difference? Like, these are actual orders, constantly changing, a bunch of market orders. Now, granted, there's more volume here anyways than in MATIC, but nonetheless, you would still see it wouldn't be stalemate the way it is, unless there's somebody manipulating it. And it's been like that since Sunday of last week. And it's the same. Obviously, you don't know who it is, but it's very obvious that somebody or a group of people are manipulating, because you can go to any other book, and even this one has more movement, and it's a very low volume. I think this even has less volume than MATIC does. So you should see movement. So then you just got to figure, okay, well, how do I know if that's going to play to my advantage or not? Well, you just know because you've been watching what it's doing. You look at the charts for the last week. What has it been doing over the last week? Is it in an upward trend? Is it in a is it trending upward? Has it been trending downward? What's the news say? So I just happen to be watching this one, so I kind of have an idea of where it's going to go. And we saw it just the other day go to, what was it, 275 or something like that. So I think this thing will settle around 240, 230, maybe even 250 today. Just depends on what this guy does. But you can see the amount of sellers versus the buyers here, and typically see the big orders stand out. So you should see there's a lot of small movement here in this range. So these guys would be easily manipulated to increase these bids as soon as they see activity in the positive direction. So I think I've got some dollars in here. Let's see. What's the gap? He's at 2. He's at 210. So I'll just show you. I'll put a buy order at 205, and I'll see if that 210 will give. Sure, I don't have any coins in here. Let's see if I can. So normally what I'll do to test this to see what's going to happen is I'll put a buy order, small buy order, and see if the seller gives. If the seller doesn't move, then I'll put a smaller sell order, see if the buyer moves, and then that'll tell me which side is going to give. I think on this particular one, I think the buy side will give up over the sell side. So I think, which is going to be a good indicator that the price will shoot up. All right, I'm gonna put a buy order in for 204. Let's see what happens. Yeah, so on in crypto, they just took the 204. or excuse me, 205. Yeah, 2058. So these guys should as well. So I'll sell a couple here. I'll sell a couple here and show you. So this guy's, he's forcing to sell. It's the same order, so you can see it's the same dude. So I want to try to bring this guy from $2 to 205 and move the market a little bit. So I'll go sell, let's say 204.999, make it a little bit more attractive than the 210. So he's got a small order of 30, so it's still 10. So you should see my sell order pop in here. Oh, I put 2.49 shit. I'm at 2.049. Sorry. 2.0499. So there's my order. And then we'll see if this guy bites on it. And that'll tell us whether the buyers are willing to move or not, or if the sellers are going to have to come down. And sometimes they can tell it's a bait. Damn, I'm surprised he's not taking that. Let's see all these small orders. I almost guarantee you it's this dude right here. And so that's what he'll do is he'll do small orders so that it's not so apparent. There it is. He took it. Yeah, there you go. So he sold it. Bought it. So it tells you that the buy side's willing to pay more than what they've got here. And you can see there's not a lot of buy side demand up here, which tells you that the buyers are not confident that this price is getting ready to drop. And the sellers are quite confident that the price is going up. So if, and your wall is here at 210, that's 240, 247. Yeah, so this guy's keeping this low. He's going to move this back when, as he gets more shares, he's going to lift the wall a little bit and move it back. But I think you'll see it come to 240, 250. So there's room. The other last one, and I'll just do this one really quick, is SAFEMOON, because I got to get on this call here in 4 minutes. SAFEMOON, seeing the same type of deal here. 0.0768 on the buy. 0.0768 769, 768. So there's a small gap. I don't know why these guys are, why this isn't closed. I guess it's such a large order. I don't know. This one's pretty still, and there's not a lot of volume here, which is good. And what's good about a low volume is it's easy to manipulate. It's easy to kind of take control of the pricing. If you have a group of people, or you have some big money, like 0009. That's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. Okay, so this one, could very well see hit 0.09, 0.08, 0.09, which is good because it's the day started at 6, 7, 8, I think. So there's some good opportunity here, and this would be a good one that, because it's new to BitTrue, if we could get a group of 5 or 10 people, that we could set up a plan and we could build our own walls on the buy and sell side to accumulate shares at lower prices, and then let the market let the wall down and let the market shoot up. But that's why you'll see these big jumps, and from 0.664 to 767. Just not a whole lot of volume. So it's easy for a few people to kind of take control of the book, and then you can see and tell the confidence of which way that book's going to go when whoever's doing it is done doing whatever they're doing, and the rest of the retail buyers can actually play ball. And a lot of times when people spot this, you'll see it kind of stand still because you don't know what they're going to do. You don't know if it's a real, is this a real order? Is it manipulation? And so a lot of people will try to stay away from it, so as not to rush themselves into selling unnecessarily, or buying unnecessarily. So most people will try to wait. And so the only orders really going to process right now are market orders, people who just go in and say, I'm going to buy it at whatever the price is right now, versus setting a limit order. So the limit orders normally stay out of it until these types of walls are gone, because it's just risky. And ADA, see pretty good back and forth. I think you'll see this guy go get close to 202 today, 204. So those are some good opportunities. Hopefully that helps you guys. If you have any questions, just hit up the chat. I'll be back in there in a little bit. I got to get on call.